kinalaman sa pagkakaaresto ng International Criminal Court o ICC kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. President Bongbong Marcos inilaglag ng mga taga-International Criminal Court. Gobyerno ng Pilipinas mismong nakipagtulungan sa ICC para damputin at papuntahin sa Netherlands ang dating Pangulong Duterte. Ito ang eksklusibong balita na marahil hindi pa nailabas ng ilang media outlet sa bansa, kung saan mismong opisyales ng ICC ang nagsabi on worldwide telecast na ang gobyerno ng Pilipinas sa pangunguna ni PBBM ang siyang nakipagtulungan para maaresto si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ating panoorin ang buong video.
This is breaking news, no? I don't know if you see already the news dun sa BBC Online, which mismong official ng International Criminal Court ang naglaglag kay BBM. Why can I say that? Dahil di ba kagabi sa press conference ni President Bongbong, sinabi niya na hindi siya nakipagtulungan. No? Hindi siya sa investigasyon, sa lahat. So dyan ginawa lang din nila yung dapat. No, para arestuhin at dalhin sa Netherlands si President Duterte. Pero kasasabi lang ng isang official from ICC na mismo ang gobyerno ni Marcos Jr. ang nagpakanulo kay President Duterte at sila mismo ang nagbigay ng mga kunong ebidensya laban sa dating Pangulo. Grabe, napakasinungaling ni Bongbong Marcos. Eto, panoorin nyo ha, BBC to, BBC London, ibang bansa, ibinalita out of the country na mismo ang presidente ng Pilipinas na si BBM ang nagbigay ng authority para arestuhin si President Duterte. Napakasinungaling talaga.
Have him properly tried in The Hague.
So what happens when he arrives? If indeed he gets on board this plane that we can see right now, about a 12-hour flight perhaps to Europe and to The Hague, what happens next?
Well, he'll be taken into custody and there'll be all sorts of safety procedures applied then, and then he'll be taken to the court. And in due course, he'll be asked to plead to an indictment.
And this is all happening and could only have happened with the full cooperation of the Philippines government?
Yes, I mean, one of the problems, your previous contributor, I think, mentioned it, these two families being at war, originally at peace together, then you wouldn't have expected the Marcoses to provide evidence against Duterte. Now that they're at war, we hear that Marcos is prepared to cooperate. The question then may include, or the questions then may include, whether evidence provided by the regime under Marcos will be clean evidence, or whether there's a risk of its being tainted before it ever arrives in The Hague. And the prosecutors in The Hague, I don't know to what extent, if any, they've been in the Philippines recently, but they will no doubt now be allowed in. And if they go in, will they be able to find evidence that they're satisfied is free of any taint because of any enthusiasm by Marcos to deepen the rift between the two families?
We can now speak to Southeast Asia correspondent Jonathan Head. And Jonathan, is this something that was expected? Why is this arrest happening now?
Well, the warrant was issued on the 7th of March, so the reasoning is the dating of the warrant. Now, the ICC has not publicised the warrant yet. Apparently, it won't routinely do that until it has a suspect in custody. And it is possible, given that Mr. Duterte was taken straight off that plane to an Air Force base, it's very possible they may fly him to The Hague very quickly. What was unexpected was that the government of the Philippines, headed by President Marcos, would move so decisively against such a high-profile and still very popular figure, a former president who, remember, was an ally of Mr. Marcos's until quite recently and still has a huge support base. In the early days of his administration, President Marcos had said he would not cooperate with the ICC investigation. And remember, the Philippines, under President Duterte, actually left the jurisdiction of the ICC, but the prosecutors there have been investigating alleged crimes against humanity, the killings of the war on drugs, from before the time that the Philippines left in 2019. That's why they say they have a mandate. But no one, I think, expected President Marcos to move so decisively against his former ally, now bitter political rival. And I think people perhaps weren't expecting the possibility that former President Duterte might yet well be flown immediately to The Hague. It's opened up a whole set of political and legal possibilities, both in terms of the current political contests in the Philippines, this rivalry between these two big families, and in terms of bringing to account or bringing some kind of justice to those who died, or the families of those who died during the war on drugs.
And Jonathan, briefly, just remind us of those accusations he's faced over the years.
When he launched the war on drugs, when he came to office in 2016, he was very much in the populist mould. He actually came to power before the first term of President Trump and was seen very much in that mould. But he threatened to kill large numbers of people. He said he was very willing to accept responsibility, and that's what happened. Huge numbers of people were gunned down in very controversial police operations. This war on drugs ran at full tilt for probably about 3 to 4 years before it started to fade off. And from the very beginning, there were accusations that this amounted to crimes against humanity. That's partly why President Duterte pulled the Philippines out of the jurisdiction of the ICC. But I think for all of the calls for justice for those who were killed and for some kind of accountability for the bloodshed, nobody expected a figure still as powerful and influential as former President Duterte actually to end up being arrested by his own government on a warrant from The Hague.
Jonathan, thank you. That's Southeast Asia correspondent Jonathan Head.
Kita nyo na? No, grabe. Hindi mo aakalain na talagang nukno ka ng sinungaling itong si Bongbong Marcos. Simula nung naupo ka sa pwesto, 3 taon ang lumipas, pinanindigan mo na walang jurisdiction ang Pilipinas at kahit kailan, hindi ka makikipag-cooperate sa mga yan dahil alam mo na ang Pilipino ay dapat husgahan ng mahistradong Pilipino din, hindi ng banyaga. Pero ano yung ginawa mo? Inilaglag ka mismo ng ICC dahil sinabi nila na ikaw ang nagbigay ng evidence para arestuhin si President Duterte at sa mga di umano'y managot siya sa mga kasong isinamsahan niya crimes against humanity. Napakatalantado talaga ng gobyerno nito. Hindi mga nag-iisip. Grabe. Mga bangag, mga adik talaga. Alam mo kung nasa tamang katinoan doon si Bongbong Marcos at alam niya yung mga pinagsasabi niya, konsensya na lang saka utang na loob. Yun lang ang dapat mong paganahin. Di ba wala ka sa tamang katinoan at iba talaga ang utak na mga nagdudurog ng droga. Kaya wala kang tamang desisyon Ang magagawa mo na lang para sa mga Pilipino ay yung magkaroon ka ng utang na loob. Tandaan mo, lumapit kayo sa mga Duterte para kayo ay manalo sa eleksyon. Tanda mo yan kasi simulat sa poll, hindi ka naman nanalo kay Lenny Saka walang nangyaring daya nun, talagang ayaw sa'yo ng mga tao nun dahil Marcos ang apelido mo. Kaya lang, grabe, nagpetisyon ka pa ng kahit anong electoral process na ganito ganyan. Hindi ka rin naman tinaningin ng korte dahil merong final decision ang taong bayan at ang noong 2016, sila ni ang binoto nila. Ngayon, nananghingi ka ng tulong sa mga Duterte. Binigyan ka nila ng pagkakataon para linisin ang pangalan ng pamilya mong ubod ng grabe ang pagnanakaw. Ngayon, wala kang ginawa. Yung mga taong tumulong sa inyo, yung mga taong naging kaibigan ninyo at hindi kayo iniwan hanggang dulo. Ganito ginawa nyo. Dating Pangulo, yung ipinagkanulo mo sa ibang bansa. Binigyan mo ng chance ang mga foreigner, magbabayad ka sa lahat ng ginawa mo. Hindi natutulog ang Diyos at alam niya na napakasinungaling mong tao. May araw ka rin, hindi habang buhay nandiyan kayo sa pwesto. At kung inaakala mo na magagawa mo yung ginawa ng tatay mong diktador na hindi na bumaba after 2 decades, diyan ka nagkakamali. Buhay ang Diyos, may konsensya ang mga tao at alam nilang adik ka. Hindi ka mananatili sa pwesto.
Interpol ka na ngayon. Wala ka namang sinasabing Interpol dati Number 1 ka talagang sinungaling. Grabe. Imaginein mo mga lods. Sariling kababayan, Pilipino, dating presidente pa ng Pilipinas, hinayaan niyang dakpin ng ibang lahi. Oh my God, Mr. President. Dito pala litisin sa Pilipinas, Mr. President. Talagang dumating ka talaga sa point na ganyan Ba din, no? Talagang yung Yung mga hocus-pocus niya. Grabe mga lods, no? Papaano kaya ni BBM nasisigura yung mga pinagsasabi niya? Nakipag-cooperate sila. Sa ibang lahi, nakipag-cooperate sila. Sa ICC, may pa-Interpol ka pa. Sabihin mo, ICC talaga yan. Tinatakot mo pa kami na pag hindi mo susundin ang Interpol, baka hindi tayo tulungan. Tang ina, 'di ba? Napaka-weak mo